Okay, so here we are back again. I need to stop hitting the off button. I'm going to put you up here a little bit, I think. There we go. Is that out of the way enough? Get my drill bit in there. And we're going to, this is part 2. Welcome to part 2. I hit the button. What can I tell you? Okay, let me turn this a little bit. Okay. Okay. Am I on the hole? I'm on the hole. Hold this firm. Okay. Oh, no, you can't see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ready? And you want to go straight down and firm and make sure that it's going clockwise. Go slow at first and then speed up a little bit. Okay, go down all the way through. Give it a little push, a little firm. And then when it starts grabbing your book on the bottom, you'll feel it. Retreat. Okay, there we go. We're out. Whew. Okay, now you can put your drill aside. So it's not that bad. If you're okay with the drill, and it wasn't the scariest thing in the world, honestly. A drill is easier to work with than the Crocodile 2 Big Bite. I mean, you're done. You know what I mean? You got your 3 holes. I mean, you are like golden. Yeah. And it did go into the book. Here's my 3 holes. You want to see how deep it went? 1, 2, 3. We're still there. 1, 2. Okay, now it's starting to get thinner. So it went in about that far. So just so you know how far it went in when I could start to detect it. Yeah. Okay, so let's reorient everybody. We'll back up. Everybody can see everything. And oh, I think I want to put, I don't know, that would be cute, wouldn't it? We just do something like that. That would be very cute. I mean, maybe just on the front page there. Okay, let's do that. I didn't do that last time. Of course, I have the holes here. Oh, Lord. Okay, that's all right. We can punch some holes in this. This is just one. And I think I can even do that with, I'm not going to do it with the drill bit. No, I'm not. I'm going to put some dots here. And I'm just going to get the old Crocodile 2 Big Bite. Yeah, that's the way we're going to pull out this baby, just to cut the fabric. So I'm going to do 3 holes with the 1/8, which is the small 1/8 inch. And that is the nice thing about the Fabrifix. The Crocodile 2 Big Bite is that it does go through fabric. Yep, so there you go. So I'm just holding it taut on either side. There we go. Okay, so now, if everything like happened magically, did it? Oh, maybe it was this way. Yep, that's the way it was. Okay, so let's glue that down. Oh, what a mess we have here. Yes, that's okay. I just wanted to have something pretty at the top. I thought this was sort of nice. Am I talking? Yes, okay. Am I talking? Yeah, I know I'm talking. Okay, here we go. And are you the holes all right? Okay, you may want to test to make sure. Yes. 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 Okay, we are good. Go ahead. Go forth and glue. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're going to take some strings and do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Okay, I got some blue embroidery floss, and I think I'll mix it with some brown. I think that would be pretty with this little style. And you could use yellow. That would be nice too on this one. Actually, maybe I'll get some yellow. Hold on. Blue and yellow are on the opposite ends of the color wheel, and they would make a nice little contrast here. So let's do that. And I would, oh, that's a little too short. Give yourself that's short too. What are these all shorties? Oh, we can't work with a bunch of shorties here today. No, need a longer. And I'm back with another yellow. Okay, now we gotta find the end. Where's the end? Oh, there it is, I see it. Whew, oh, that was lucky. Okay, so what were we gonna do? We were gonna go, okay. I would say at least 2 feet. Maybe even a little, a little longer, because we're going to double up a bit. So give yourself lots of extra, because you don't want to be short. I probably got 3 feet here. I would say, yeah, have a 3 feet, and then you're going to have extra. Okay. So just cut that off, and then, okay. Okay. Double it up. And then I think is that going to give me enough? I don't know. I think so. Well, we'll find out. Oh, I don't know. That's probably not enough. Let's just double it up. Yeah, that'll be safer. Okay, now we're just going to flash all at one end. There we go. And now the whole thing is to get them through the eye of the needle, but this big, forgiving, big, fat mama needle, blind as a bat mama needle, isn't that hard to thread, thankfully. Okay, yeah, so I guess it doubles up anyway. Great, there we go. We're going to start from the front and thread through, because we want to do the tie on the front. Okay, let's see. I hope I have enough. That's going to be close. I might need extra. We'll see. Let me just go in here. So it's not hard to thread, because we've got these nice big holes which fit perfectly, whatever that magical thing was. I don't know how wide it was, but okay, whoop, we need a little more than that to tie at the end. Yeah, all right. Looks like school colors or something, doesn't it? Like, hey, we're the red robin. No, not red robins. We're like the blue eggs. Yeah, okay. Okay, coming through the back and through this hole, which is coming. I'm almost there. I'm through. Okay. Now, the most important thing, you want to make sure that you have one wing on either side of the bridge. So let's first of all pull a little more thread through. This one, okay. Get you a little longer. Yep, okay. Now, let's get you on the other side before we cut you. And then we might be just doing a knot because we don't have enough. So I would go 4 feet. If you want extra to do a bow, yeah, do 4 feet. And you can even tie a little cutie on here. That would be really cute. Maybe I'll try that. Hold on. Okay, so we're just having fun and goofing right now, but I want to show you how to get the bottoms short. Coming closer. Okay. Coming closer. Okay, so I just got a little cutie metal charm and a jump ring. I'm going to use my brute strength to open up the jump ring. And I'm going to loop it. Loopy-loo, and glues it. Okay, and I'm just going to tie it on here. Yep, you'll see what happens. I'll put you on here. All right, I'll get you guys all organized. The brethren of the string hood. Yes, it's like the ya sister pants or whatever it is. Okay, so you're on there and you're looking very cute, I must say. And we're going to tie you on because I foibled I can't do a bow, so I am doing a cutie dangle instead. There we go. There's always something you can do to add a little woo-ha. You have to, increase your woo-ha factor every once in a while. Okay, just get some of these through, and then we can tie these super knot. I probably should have done right over left, left over right, but I didn't. Okay, let's just tie some guys over here. I don't know where I'm tying at this point. Yeah, just tie them down, for gosh sakes. Just get them tied. Okay. You can even put a piece of glue or something there if you want to in the end. And if you want them all the same length, you can trim them or you can leave them different lengths. Okay. Same length. I have no idea why I have 17 on one side, but there we go. That's the look I was going for. Mm-hmm. Okay, but as you can see, we do have, it is all attached. Now, here's a trick. You're going to experience, because of just the way it's sewn in, there will be a little, what I call translational movement here. And if you want to not have that, all you do is glue down the back page to the very back. So we can do that quickly here. And just put some glue down, and that will anchor the whole thing. Yep. So you're sort of forfeiting the last page from being movable, but it will hold everybody else in place. Yes. Now, the easiest way to get all these, now there's a lot, remember, I've got almost 80 to 100 here, but the easiest way to get these all the same length is you could laboriously cut them all, but who wants to do that? Not this girl. You can tear them, and it goes pretty fast. And you can even start higher and do some higher and then come down a little bit lower. That kind of looks like a cute little petticoat design. Very adorable, and you can do 2 or 3 pages at once, and they will start to petticoat on their own because they're abutting against the one above it, and then that's going to cause a little, what I call like layering ridge like step down effect. Okay, so if you just come to close to the edge, there we go. Now, just checking to make sure that I am above the bottom. because that's going to make life easier. Okay. Oh, lost a cute owl head there. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's okay, just keep going. All right, so we need a little help. You might want to come in with just if you get a bunch of rough ones that aren't playing, just come in with the craft knife and you just let them know that they're not welcome. Yeah, no, they have to leave. Yeah. You must go. And then just carry on with your tearing. All right. It's a little bit cumbersome, but it will get you out of a pinch. That's what I'm saying. And you're only tearing a couple papers at a time, and you can do that. It's not hard on the hands. It's easy. Yes, yes, she says. I'm still above the bottom. Make sure you start high enough, probably a good inch above where you want to actually have the paper end, so that you don't end up off the page, or else you're going to have to cut it on your own. I don't want you to have to fuss. Okay, are we there yet? We're almost there. Like, we're so close. Let me just lightly remove these guys. Oh yeah, that was horrible in the big end. Okay, let's say that happens, and what do you do, right? Well, how about this? Put that there, and then you just come along and you trim it. Yeah, that's what you do. Oops, make sure this is long enough. Sometimes you haven't extended it and it doesn't work right. That's why. Okay, no, so you can put something totally firm, but I just need enough to get these little loosey guys off here. Let me move. Okay, I'm in a dent. Don't be in a dent. Okay, oh, we got a bottom one. Okay, there. Always a little one in the end giving trouble. Okay, so let me back up so you can see what on earth I've been doing. Okay, so look how fat that is. I mean, I got a lot of paper I can play with here. This is really cool. And let's say it's still a little rough on the end. You know what you can do? Yep, you got it. Our old friend, sanding block. Just come on along. All right, this guy, we are just not gonna, he's like giving me a problem down here. So we're just going to, there. Now, he's definitely not there on the end. I'm just going to, and this gives a really nice edge. Never done this before. Take a clump of paper and sand it. It's the best feeling. Oh yeah, it just feels so super soft. It's like suede. Yeah, it is. And you can ink all these papers and do all that fun stuff too. But this is a really fun project to use up little bits. And there you go. Now, if you want to stamp a word, like I have the word inspire. Let me get my blank. That was me dropping the black ink. Now I'm very calmly retrieving the black ink. Boy, did I make that sound worse than it was. I don't know. I just pictured like dropping a crate of eggs or something, because it's I reloaded it, so it's a little inky. Okay. There. I just wanted something on the first page to give it, you know, a little appeal. But I want to leave the rest of them blank because I do want it for writing on and note making and things like that. And like I said, we are doing our meal prep, but this one is like super fat, chunky, and I'm so excited about this little project. It's very useful, and I'm using up my scraps, and it's honestly, it's not hard to make because you can go through 80 pages or more if you're really clamped down well and you're going into something that is not going to, so you don't drill through your table. Okay, if you have a drill press, use that. There's also devices that will hold a drill in place. It's almost like a stand, and you pop your drill into it, and your drill doesn't migrate while you're drilling. But going through paper is very easy for a drill. It's not wood, it's not plastic, it's not metal, it's just paper. So as long as you are going clockwise initially, you'll go down into the paper. When you pull the drill out, you want to come out counterclockwise. Yeah, so just make sure you keep an eye on that. Probably wear goggles because, you know, I'm sure goggles and hazmat suit might always be the safest thing to do. But I have my readers on, so there you go. So here we have this guy. Oh, he's so chunky. And is he gonna look cute on like a kitchen counter or something like that? These would make great stocking stuffers too. And they're just, and you could decorate them a million and one ways. Old book pages, scrapbook paper, maybe take some prints of your family's photos, like put them on your copier and copy just a sheet of photos, and then use that as your wraparound tube. And then you would have like family faces and stuff like that. That would be really awesome. And you can come and ink this up if you want to ink it up a little bit more on the edges, giving it that old world look. Yeah. Oh, where's my brown? Here it is. I am using, oh, sorry, the black was black soot and the brown is walnut stain, if anybody was wondering. And I'm just going to go ahead and just make it a little bit more distressed. Optional, not mandatory. But yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know if anybody else is excited about this, but I am. This is just one of those things that you can, it's like utilitarian. I love that. Oh, and if you want to do this, this is a nice touch too. Do this with the ends of your paper. It makes it look like that old school book worn look. And you can do that coming down the sides too, all at once. Yeah. And especially on the fresh cut ends, it doesn't look like they were so fresh cut. They've got some wear to them. You know what I mean? I'm saying? Yeah. So I hope you're having fun. Welcome to everybody who's new. I'm so happy that you're here and hanging out and having some papery goodness. This is, I hope, your place to escape to from the craziness of the world. Let's just dive into the papers and forget all that nonsense that's going on out there. If you're tired of listening to the news, come on out and let's create some paper stuff. Okay, so what else? Okay, so if you're new here, if you've been around, you may have heard this already, but if you are new, please know that I do my videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I have podcasts, which are audio, free to listen to, and it's different material, but it's all related to junk journals, paper crafting, life of a crafter, answering crafter questions. It's called the Paper Outpost podcast, The Joy of Junk Journals, and you can find it on Spotify and Apple, or if you don't have any of those, you don't need them. You just click on the link below, and you magically go there, and I have over 3 years worth of material for you to check out. And I have a free monthly email newsletter. If you haven't signed up for that yet, please do, because you're going to get a free digital image emailed to you every month, along with a checklist of supplies, a note from the bookmaker, junk journal tip, updates from me, and I have a Facebook group. We're having a lot of fun over there doing weekly and monthly challenges, as well as seeing what you guys make from these videos, which are so you guys just create so many ideas. You're like an amazing idea factory. So thank you to all of you. And you're certainly welcome. Just come on over, join, and lurk. You don't have to post. You can just be like in awe of all the amazing things other people make. So it's an awesome place to find some camaraderie of people who are making paper projects. I have an Etsy shop, and my Etsy shop is where I sell my vintage digital kits, which are printable downloads, and you can print them out as many times as you like and use them any way you like in your artwork. And I also sell FUNDLES, which are like collections of old paper. You get 100 different pieces of ledger and T-cards and postcards and old black and white photos and just all sorts of really cool stuff. And if you have a hard time finding old papers and old book pages, or hard to store, or they're way too expensive to buy individually, this might be your answer. And I do hard copy mail all that to you in a priority flat mail envelope, so it gets to you pretty quickly. And you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I am in the process of learning Instagram a little bit better, so hopefully you'll be able to see more from me there, but I will keep you updated as to the process. And all the links are found in my drop-down description below every video. And if you find value here, please like, subscribe, and share. Click the notification bell. And most importantly, remember that fun can be simple. And create with reckless abandon. If you're wondering if you should do it, just do it and see what happens. And then if you feel so inclined, share it with the rest of us. Take care, everyone. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.